Okay, today is July the 7th, 2017. Right now at 11:10 a.m., we have a temperature of 94 degrees in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 34%. We've got a dew point up at 60 degrees, and the barometer is reading 29.92 inches. And today it's going to be very hot, and we can feel that already, and it's going to be very humid as well. Now we're looking at the East Pacific water vapor loop. We can see a disturbance right here, which should be a tropical depression by probably the end of the day. We can see some counterclockwise rotation starting to develop, and the weather controllers will allow this to become a hurricane. Now we saw Dora. We watched what happened with Dora. That became a hurricane. It was a category 1 on the verge of becoming a category 2. And as predicted, it was blown apart as it moved to the west-northwest. And we can see right now a fairly well-defined cutout of high pressure right here, which is going to blockade this storm from moving north towards the United States. If you look at the other maps here, this is the infrared map. We can see the rotation there. We can see a blast pattern here on the western side of the developing storm. We'll keep an eye on this and see what happens. All right, this is the Northeast Pacific water vapor loop, and we can see that low pressure system has moved around the south side of this other low pressure system. So we've got a sort of a pinwheel going on, and this will drop down. This is the jet stream flow here, and this is moving towards the U.S., but there's high pressure installed in this area, and we can see a nearly straight edge right here. And so this low pressure system, which has no rotation in it any longer, is going to be re-steered up into Oregon and Washington. And again, we can see that cutout down here near this developing hurricane. And so California is baking under high pressure, high temperatures, and high humidity, as this humidity right in this area, this monsoonal moisture, wraps around clockwise. And notice we have a westbound flow. Let's look at that here in this map. This is the southwest water vapor map. We can see a westbound flow pattern. And so we're going to see a lot of chemtrail activity out in the eastern California deserts, and also probably in LA. I can see the hazy skies already. Have not seen any streaks in the skies, but we do, actually in this map, we can see a couple of chemtrails. We'll take a look at the Modus Today map later when they have a photo processed. We can actually see some trails right here. I don't have the Doppler pulled up, but this should be generating rain out in the eastern desert areas. So we should see some chemtrail haze today based on this pattern in Southern California. Here's the western U.S. water vapor map. We can see some manipulation going on here. Blockade. There's actually a low pressure system right here starting to spin counterclockwise. We can see that happening. And so in preparation of that, we have a channel of high pressure that will block any northbound movement of this developing a low pressure system right down over Mexico. And as a result of cutting this out, we're seeing some residual moisture flowing into eastern California. But this is all being hit with transmitters. They're not going to allow any substantial rain. That'll be my forecast for today. Let's go back to the big map again. And we can see that low pressure right here starting to spin counterclockwise right over Mexico. And we can see the channel of high pressure that will blockade that from moving north. All right, so that's pretty much the report. There's nothing else to... here's the infrared map for the western U.S. And so we see a pretty much of a winter pattern all the year round. Just a conveyor belt of storms, weather systems all year long that move right towards the U.S. And all they do for summer weather is they just park high pressure in the area and re-steer a lot of this weather. And in the wintertime, last winter, they actually allowed some of this weather to move in. So they allowed rain. We got quite a bit of rain in northern and central California. We got some down here in southern California, about 23 inches. And so this next upcoming winter season, we're going to have to keep an eye on what they do next, if they're going to leave the spigot off, as we're seeing here, or if they're going to allow more rain and snow into California, mainly Southern California. We need rain down here. And that can easily be accomplished with the technologies. They just steer this into Southern California and block it up here. These guys can do whatever they want with our weather, and that's why we're doing these videos, to point that out. Okay, that's it. We'll do another update. We'll leave this right here. This is a developing hurricane. Okay, so we'll try to do an update later on today if something develops. Okay, that's it.